We got the 11:30 numbers. So we had the 7 p.m. numbers, we had the 9:30 numbers, and now we got the 11:30 numbers. So this is the third update. I'm going to go with this. There was only 15% left, so there's probably only 5% left. And that's just some rough figure. I don't even know where these votes would even be coming from. So this is the third update, and this is the 11:31. It's midnight right now, so this is just updated 30 minutes ago. And here are the numbers. I'm just actually going to print this. I'm going to go with this, and I'm going to analyze this as if this was the final victory. If there's anything else, then that's just some kind of weird electoral oversight bullshit. But here are the numbers. Here we go. Okay, so total votes was 35,303 compared to 2013 numbers. That is a reduction. There was only 46,372 votes last year, so that means 11,000 people less voted in the exact same identical election 4 years ago. So our turnout rate is lower. It is worse. It is more ridiculous. Our lack of democracy is less. We have our shitty democracy is shittier this year. That's what we found. It is going to be under 50%. I do wish we had the total turnout, the total amount of voters for the city, so that way we could actually compare the total turnout rate. They voted 2, so that's 2 people, so that's what, 17,000 voters? Who knows? So that's the total vote for the at-large race. There was 5 people in 2013. There's 7 people, so you'd think there would be a larger turnout rate. There was not. So what happened in the at-large race? You had the winner is Dennis Flores. So that's a win for the good old boys establishment. That's who Steve Noraki wanted to win. So Dennis Flores, who was on the top of the list, who did not have a platform, Mr. U.S. Bank himself, Mr. Pedco, Mr. Don't Give a Grocery Store to the East Side, Mr. U.S. Bank, Mr. I didn't read the damn charter, that's why I'm in favor of Big Daddy Strange. Dennis Flores is the clear winner, 9,356 votes. The only 2 people that was competing for second place, which is what we were trying to figure out, it's been Mark Aliff has just been in front by 100, 200 votes the entire time. He's still in front by 100, by 231 32 votes. So only by 200 votes, 230 votes. So he's just barely in front of Kevin Cover. Cover actually had, I can't believe it, Cover had such a good chance. He had no platform, no ideas. He talked like such an asshole, and he had no new ideas. He kept saying he wasn't polished. He just didn't have any ideas. See, the difference between the way I talk, I got something to say. When Kevin Cover talks, he doesn't have much to say, right? It's like you got to pull it out of him, and he's acting like he's being so careful. No, you're being too careful. You're being too conservative, and you're not saying anything. You're not saying a damn thing. Kevin Cover, he has this Obama kind of sort of, and it looks like he's being thoughtful, but really he's just talking slower. He's not smarter. He's just talking like an asshole. He's just talking slower. Why are you talking like that? Why are you talking so slow? Why don't you talk like a regular person? Why don't you just level with us? Why don't you just tell us the truth? I don't want to hear your bullshit. Tell me the truth. So he said he wasn't going to turn his back on the homeless. I think that he would, but he hasn't won. So that means Mark Aliff. I'm going with Mark Aliff. Mark Aliff won. So Mark Aliff, congratulations. And Dennis Flores, congratulations. And that means all the rest of them lost, right? So Mark Aliff won. So there is some possibility of having some solar trees and some waste to energy and contour crafting for the homeless. So I'm happy about that. I voted for Mark Aliff. So Mark Aliff looks like he won. So mark it down. Print that up. Mark Aliff and Dennis Flores are our two new people at large for City Council. In District 1, the Good Old Boys Network wins with Bob Schilling. The total amount of vote was 4,898, so that increased from the 930 total of 4,519 by 300 or 400 votes. So they did add 300 or 400 more votes into the mix, but it wasn't enough for Tommy Farrell to catch up to Bob Schilling. Bob Schilling got 2,046. Tommy Farrell got 1,613, and Michael Stapleton got 1,239. So that's unfortunate, right? Combine Stapleton and Farrell, and you would have more votes. It's 2,800 votes. So if Stapleton or Farrell would have conceded to the other person, they could have actually beat Schilling, but instead of Stapleton and Farrell being 2 strong contenders and knocking Bob Schilling out because the voters were split. The people who thought it was time for a change, some voted for Stapleton, some voted for Farrell, and Bob Schilling, the Republican incumbent, wound up storming up, I want to say up the middle, but I don't know. Tommy Farrell ran a conservative campaign that even got the endorsement of the Pueblo chieftain. So he ran a conservative campaign. Michael Stapleton is a libertarian, so he's a true blue conservative, and Bob Schilling is the Republican. So who was the Democrat? Who was the progressive? Is there anybody that could stand up for progressive ideas without having to run to the right, without having to pretend to be a conservative? Can we get a real progressives? Please stand up. So congratulations to Bob Schilling. That's a victory for the establishment, the Good Old Boys Network. So Dennis Flores is a victory for the Good Old Boys. Bob Schilling is a victory for the Good Old Boys. Mark Aliff is an outsider. So there will be some change with Mark Aliff. City Council Member District 3, Ed Brown beats Joshua Bruns by a substantial margin, 4,569 versus 2,105, before the total amount of votes was 6,072, so they counted up another 500 votes. So another 500 votes did not turn Joshua Bruns' race around, so congratulations to Ed Brown. Ed Brown would be also a good old boy. So it looks like the good old boys they're not going to run a clean sweep. The jail fails. The jail fails, so the good old boys did not get their jail. The Board of Waterworks, of course, Sandy Gutierrez, Dan Archibald, Civil Service Commissioner, nobody ran against them, which... why did we even have those elections anyways? Why not just cancel them and save the paper and the ink? And we already knew who won on those elections anyways. For the school board, the chieftain actually already called it. I mean, for Dennis Mays, it's not even a question. Jesus Christ, Dennis Mays beat the living shit out of Margaret Wright and Dottie Calhoun and Kenny O'Neill and Taylor Voss. Taylor Voss coming second with 7,080 votes. So he is 2,700 votes over Margaret Wright. So he has it clearly. Taylor Voss, congratulations to Taylor Voss. I voted for him too. So Taylor Voss, he had said that he was in favor of the Switzerland model, where we're actually given 5 to 10 year projections from the business community, and then we're connecting that to the high school so these 17-year-olds can get an internship and they can get a job. You know, 30% is going to go to college, 70% is going to get a job, so we're setting this 70% up. So hopefully he does a Switzerland model, which was also championed by the one guy who always, Noel Ginsburg. Noel Ginsburg is running as a Democrat for governor of Colorado. Noel Ginsburg. So Noel Ginsburg had the Switzerland idea. He went to Switzerland and was like, God, what they're doing is absolutely brilliant. And he is absolutely right. So hopefully Taylor Voss can jump up on that. I wish there was more democracy. Dennis Mays, he might offer a contrasting opinion since he will be a part of the legislative branch. That will be a check for Macaluso. But Dennis Mays was part of the Joyce Bales ensemble. Everybody, he believed in the tyranny of Joyce Bales, that the school board members should just shut up and get off to the side. So as much as I would like to think that his pride would stop him, you know, from being a little sycophant. That's what you got right now. You got 3 sycophants. So you got Macaluso, and then you got 1, 2, 3 little Macalusos on board who are just sycophant. Whatever the fuck she wants, they just go ahead and carbon copy and give it to her. And so with Taylor Voss, is he going to be a kiss-ass sycophant? Is Dennis Mays going to be a a kiss-ass sycophant? Or are they actually going to stand up for the students and the parents and like what they all believe? This is 5 people are on the school board. Those are popularly elected. There is a bigger onus for those 5 people who are popularly elected to do a better job, to do a good job than for the superintendent. Superintendent fucks up, they might lose their job, but they didn't get the entire support of the entire community. So they didn't say, believe in me, vote for me, I'm going to do a good job. They just got the job and they were fired. The school board members didn't just say, hire me. They said, hire me, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I'm going to make everything so much better. So the school board should have more autonomy, more independence, and they should stand up to the damn superintendent. If the superintendent doesn't do what the school board wants, they should can them. But since Dennis Mays was a part of the truancy court and with Joyce fucking Bales was that Tennessee tyrannical bitch. She pushed out Christine Pacheco, and Christine Pacheco is part of the Colorado State Board of Education today. So they were fucking wrong with that shit. They backed the local tyrant, the Tennessee tyrant, Joyce Bales. Dennis Mays was a part of that decision, and so was Dennis Flores. He was a school board member. He hired Joyce Bales. So Dennis Flores doesn't even... He's a bad choice. When it comes to picking the chief executive, he's bad at it. So when it comes to keeping Sam Azad or firing him or getting somebody else, Dennis Flores doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He picked Joyce fucking Bales, and she was absolutely horrible. She brought in tyranny. 50% of all her classmates dropped out, and so what Joyce Bales, Dennis Mays, Dennis Flores, what they set up with Joyce fucking Bales, the reason why we got these gangbangers, the reason why we got heroin addicts, the reason why we got homeless and poor people, and the reason why we didn't break the 50% turnout rate, is because Joyce fucking Bales trained those kids, and they didn't go anywhere. They didn't get empowered. They didn't stand up for themselves. They fucking dropped out, and now they're living on the goddamn streets. So Joyce Bales is to blame for all that. All those kids in the 2000s are adults today. They're in their 20s and their 30s. So thanks a lot, Joyce Bales, for all the heroin addicts that you left behind. And she doesn't even live here. She doesn't even live here. So the superintendent should be from Pueblo City, and they should stick it out here forever. Of course, if you're giving somebody 6 figures, they'll stay here to get those 6 figures. Anybody would stay here to get 6 figures. Are you kidding me? But as soon as they, aren't cutting the checks, these superintendents take off. That's one good thing I'll say about Charlotte Macaluso, is that she's a local. She'll stay here probably forever. Even if you fired her, she's staying here. This is her home, so she's not going anywhere. I like that. Instead of getting these outsider chief executives. So, good on Dennis Mays, good on Taylor Voss. Congratulations, those are the 2 winners for the school board race. Ballot issue 1A, failed. Good job. $315 million we're going to save. $315 million. We're not going to see a bunch of the tunnel massacre like in South Korea. We're not going to see blood run on the river Styx, the blood of Englishmen. We're not going to hear about any of the blood of Englishmen running on the river Styx. So, good job. It got smashed, actually, by 2,500 votes, which it almost seemed inevitable, to be honest with you. Ballot issue 1A, it was the first one on the ballot. It's the first one offered, but it's the county meddling in the city. And so I don't know what the actual reasons were, but there was a million reasons to be against this thing. There's actually 315 million reasons to be against this, because it was $315 million. You got $315 million, and you're just going to buy one fucking jail with it? You could have bought 31,000 houses, over 31,000 houses, and solved homelessness. But I bet you cure homelessness, if that was on the ballot, you motherfuckers would have definitely voted that shit down. So it was close. There's a lot of fascist motherfuckers around here that could not wait. Bunch of tax and spend fascists. Tax and spend, no, not liberals, not conservatives, fascists. These are tax and spend fascists. When it comes to fascism, there's 15,559 people in Pueblo County. That's all about fascism. Hell yeah, let's do this fascism. Let's get our fascist fucking boots strapped on and put this boot in the face of humanity. So good job, Pueblo County and Pueblo City, for knocking that stupid-ass piece of shit jail down. Fuck that $315 million spruce goose boondoggle with spider wings. Ballot question number 2A. This was a strong mayor. Strong mayor. Oh no, we're going to get a strong mayor. So bad news for Pueblo City. So we're going to have tyranny of the strong mayor. Fascism. Of course, fascism is going to be voted up with this 10,660 in favor, 9,979 against. So that's 21 plus 60, so that's 681 people. It won by 681 people, the strong mayor did. But I filed an injunction because this shit's fucking illegal, so we're going to see how this gets adjudicated in the court system. So they won the election, but it was an illegal ballot measure to begin with. I filed a permanent injunction before this election day. It was illegal. They shouldn't have put it on it. They didn't go through a charter convention. And also 10,000 people are voting for a fucking criminal change of government. They don't know about the form of government. They are not proud of their independence. They are not proud of their charter. They're not proud of their autonomy, their self-home rule. And our sovereignty is now at attack. We are being attacked right now. Will we still be a home rule city? Sal Pace was in favor of this. A county commissioner could not wait for the strong mayor to be passed. He was so happy with this. The county commissioners love this shit because now the county gets to control the city. Why would the county commissioner be in favor of us changing our form of government? In fact, he should have no opinion about it. We're just changing the form of government. So, interesting that he was in favor of it. I don't know why, and it passed. So strong. Big Daddy Strange is here to stay. Mark Aleph and Dennis Flores gonna write it into law. We changed our government. We changed it all the way. So, 2B smashed the shit out of the fucking pro 2B. So we love our cops around here. Oh my God, do we love some cops. 6,000 votes. It won by over 6,000 votes, 13,109 versus 7,172. So everybody was like, hell yeah, 24 new cops. Here you go. Go ahead. Here's 24 new cops. Troy Davenport and Sam Azad. Hire away. Whoever you want, Sam Azad. We love your government, but we actually hate your government. So that's a weird schizophrenic. You know, you want to change the form of government because our form of government sucks so bad and the government's corrupt and we got to change it. The government is the leadership over the police. So why would you want to change your government and then get more police into the same system? That doesn't make any sense. If you think the leadership fucking sucks, then you shouldn't be putting in more of the, you know, boots, more fascist boots on the ground. Because they work for the government. So if you think the government is corrupt and you are in favor of the police, you're a walking hypocrite. You're a walking hypocrite. You're against the government, but you love the police. Guess who the police work for? That's right, the government. So you're not totally against the government, now are you? So question number 2C. So congratulations to Troy Davenport, Lori Winter. Lori Winter championed this thing. I'm not for sure who actually put it on the ballot, so city council members. But Lori Winter, Troy Davenport, Sam Azad are the biggest winners with that. So 2B is now passed. Ballot question number 2C, the street repair tax, $1 is going to go onto our water bills in order to help with street repairs. This is exciting because now the city has their own streamline. They got their revenue stream, and the revenue stream comes from this tiny little tax, and it is a tax, so this might be I don't see how they didn't put it in the numbers and the taxes, so they didn't treat it like a tax, but it is a tax. Of course it is. It's a fee on top of our, water bills. So they're just playing legal fucking games with this shit. So I don't know if they actually did all the stuff with the tax measures. I supported the street repair tax. Now the city has a street repair revenue stream. So if they want to say they don't have the money, well, let's look at it. I wanted to see an itemized list. I want to see an itemized list for the street repairs. I want to see an itemized list for where the money is, where the money's going, and where the money goes to. I want all this shit written down. Per the penny, per fucking dollar, every goddamn penny. Where did you get the money? Where did the money go? What streets were fixed? I want to know every bit of it. This is a city thing. The people supported this thing. So, all right, city, we gave you some money from our water bills. It makes no sense to tax our water bill to fix our streets, but that's what you did. So, good thing we got a municipal water company, right? People want to be against municipal trash and municipal electricity, but you love your water. You love that municipal water. You love those municipal streets. You love those municipal cops. So, and that municipal golf course, you're still financing, subsidizing municipal golf course so fucking rich people can go play. So you believe in subsidies so rich people can go play, but you don't believe in subsidies so our children can eat and have some shelter. Okay, you're a bad person. That's what that means. So number 2C passes, so now they have a revenue stream to fix street repairs, and I trust the city, so let's see if you do a good job on this. If you burn me on this, there's no fucking way I'll ever, agree to any of your goddamn taxes, because you're a bunch of fucking crooks, and this isn't a temporary tax, right? This is going to be a tax forever. It's only supposed to be 5 years. 2B is only supposed to be a tax for 5 years. 2C is a forever tax. They don't ever take that tax away. So this street repair tax should be here forever and ever. We already have $4.5 million from the transportation department. $4.5 million we get from the state. And now we also have, on top of that $4.5 million, we have a revenue stream. So that should be up in the millions of dollars. If a half-cent tax can, create millions of dollars in a dollar tax, holy shit, $1 is 100 fucking pennies. So the 16 million, I think, is just a half cent or a quarter cent. So if we can get 16 million from just a half-cent tax, a dollar tax, there should be fucking millions of dollars for these streets. We should have diamond-encrusted streets, golden streets, and green diamond-encrusted golden streets. That's what I voted for. I wanted green diamond-encrusted golden streets. So if I don't see green diamond-encrusted golden streets out here, I'm going to be very disappointed with you, Pueblo City. And then 300. Wow, it got closer. So 600 votes. it lost. So 600 votes, 300 failed again. This is the second time in a row that it failed. So apparently, you know, the author said they weren't going to stay if it failed. I doubt that's a real threat. But yeah, God, it got smashed. 10,135, 10,727, but close. So when it comes to two police tax measures, the people of Pueblo City said, yes, more police over here. Yes, more police over there. More police everywhere. All right. And they were in favor of a street repair tax. They were in favor of a strong tyrant. Yes, Big Daddy Strange. We'll have Big Daddy Strange at the top of the helm. He'll be the king. So Big Daddy Strange is the king. And let's give him some cops over here. Let's give him some cops over there. But they didn't give him a jail. They didn't give him a jail. So when it comes to the 4 of the 5 ballot measures that were fascist, 2 of them passed, 2 of them failed. The 300 failed and the jail failed. Strong mayor succeeded, but I got an injunction because I believe it to be illegal. Section 1.2 says you want to change the government, you got to have a charter convention because you got to include the people. They didn't want to include the people, so they went ahead and just threw a fucking ballot measure at you dumb fuckers, and you all were like, well, all right, that sounds all right to me, strong mayor. You know what you voted for, a strong mayor? Immunity. Immunity for all city employees. Plus, there's 69 other changes that's embedded in this thing. So, the strong mayor is some bad mojo. And then ballot issue 5A, it passed by 1 vote. So, that's intense. And then 5B passed by a couple hundred votes. 5C passed 4783 to 2483. So that's the new numbers. That's the 1130 numbers. That's who all won and lost. So let's just go down the list one more time and just say congratulations, all right? This is a democracy and we don't do redos. Plurality is all we need. So the majority of the 30% who voted. So 16% of the voting public chose these people to represent them. Actually, only 6,000 people, chose Mark Aliff. Less than 10,000 people chose Dennis Flores in a city of 107,000. So just, think about that. We have 107,000 people that live in this city, and less than 10%, or less than 10,000, which would be less than 10%, voted for Dennis and then also Mark. So that's the majority winners. That's the people going to unite the city. So congratulations to Mark Aliff. Congratulations to Dennis Flores. Mark Aliff is a conservative, a Republican. He's an outsider, so I would like to see how Mark Aliff does. Dennis Flores was the local establishment. He ran on his name. He didn't have a platform, so it'd be interesting just to see how anybody does in these positions. He's got the capability, but is he going to be for the working people, Dennis Flores, or is he going to be for his U.S. bank buddies? City Council District 1, Bob Schilling. Congratulations to Bob Schilling. The man, the myth, and the mustache lives on. The mustache lives on. He is still here today. So you can't get rid of Bob Schilling. You cannot get rid of Bob Schilling. He was a city councilman way long ago, and he likes the spot, and he's not going to do anything else. He's not going to elevate himself to state representative or governor. He's going to sit right in that same chair, and he's not going to change. He's going to stay doing the exact same shit that he's been doing the entire time. So what has he done? Has he changed anything? What's he going to do? Who gives a shit, right? Good old boys. So anyways, congratulations to Bob Schilling. Hopefully we'll get some solar power and wind power and some trash incineration and plasma gasification like they're doing in Grand Junction. But I heard he's a big Black Hills shill. So, yeah, no change there. No change for District 3 either. So Ed Brown wins by a substantial margin. So Ed Brown, congratulations to Ed Brown. Congratulations to Bob Schilling.